this we're going to see if we can work this up a wee bit more. When I look at this image, the problem with it for me is that this kind of has a urban kind of grungy feel. The boot does as well, but the actual quality of the boot doesn't quite come across the same way. So what I'm going to do is, I can see that's lightened off, so I'm just going to switch that off. And the first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to try and make this as a dot screen. So the easiest way for me to do that is if I go image and I just duplicate this image, I can get rid of everything else, or I can just kind of switch it all off. I'll grab the boot, drag it down a wee bit, and I'm just going to use the levels and see if I can make it a bit more contrasty, kind of lighten it up a wee bit, because I'm going to put it through the dot screen. The more grayscale there is, the more interesting that pattern becomes. I go OK. I need to go to the mode and I need to change it to grayscale for a start. It's going to ask if I want to merge it. Yeah, that's fine. Discard. I'm going to actually need to flatten it as well. So if I go here, I can go flatten image. Great. And then I can go image mode, bitmap. I'll go roughly about 3 times up, 300, halftone screen. Okay. And I'll try it. I'm going to try it at 11. Okay, that the screen is just a wee bit too fine, so I go Command Z, and I'll do it again, mode, bitmap. Okay, and this time I'll make it 3. It's a bit better, it's getting a wee bit coarser. So with this, I'm going to go mode, back to grayscale, 1:1, and now I'm just going to select this. I can cut it or copy it. I can close that now because I don't need that duplicate anymore. Don't save it. No, I'm in here. And now, a new layer. I'm going to paste that, but you can see it's really huge. So if I go Command T, I can scale it, get it kind of the size that I want, hit return. It's better for me. I kind of like it going off the edge a wee bit, so I'll select all. I'll cut that. So once I'm in the channels, I'll make a new channel. I'm going to fill it with white. Command V, and I'll just move it to where I want it. Command D. Now if I go Command I for the invert, I can load this up. Back onto my layers. Got a nice blank layer here, and I'm going to fill it. I'm going to get this eyedropper. There's a blue in here, so I might try that. Option, delete. It's a bit light, that color, so what happens if I multiply it? It's starting to become a bit more interesting there, but I'll switch off the other boot in the meantime. It looks like it might need to be a bit darker, so I'm going to try the eyedropper and get a darker blue from there. I'm trying to select a color within the image. Sometimes it works better to, rather than introduce a new color. So Option, Shift, and delete. The Shift keeps the transparency. Happens if I just have it on normal. I quite like that. I can whip through here and see if there is an option that I like wee bit more. It's going to be in these dark ones. Darker colour. Linear is quite nice as well. Multiply. I go darker colour because it's like multiply, but it still retains a little bit of the blue. Now it's getting better than what it was before, but I need to add a little more texture in. So I'm going to work with the sky. So I'll just switch the eye off beside some of these things. I'm going to get this image here and just duplicate it. And I'm going to try and select the, oops, I'll change it to the quick selection tool, and I'm just going to run around here and see if I can select the sky quickly. It's selected a bit more than I was after. So I'm just going back with the option key, see if I can take it back to the sky. So that's pretty good. And what I'm going to do now is with that one, I'm going to add a mask, switch the eyes off so I can see what I've got. Yep, that's pretty good. And I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to try and get a dot screen out of this. So I'll go image, I'll duplicate it, go OK, and then I'm just going to flatten it for a start because I'll need to do that. Image mode, take it to grayscale, discard, image mode, back to bitmap. And got the 300 again. I'll try it on 5, just a little bit different to the boot. Okay, and that screen is pretty good. I can see there's a line across here that I don't really want, so I'm just going to get a brush and just knock that out with white. And then the same thing, I'm going to go image mode, grayscale, okay, select all of that and cut it or copy it. I can close that window now and not save it, don't need it. And now I'm back to this image here. So the first thing I'm going to do is make a new layer, and I'm going to Command V, paste that dot screen, and obviously because of the resolution it's a lot bigger, so go Command T, and I'm just trying to fit everything. I know that it was the full length of this picture, so if I move it in until it fits that picture, I know it's going to be pretty much everything's going to be pretty much in the right place. Because it's this kind of punky looking image, it doesn't matter if it's a wee bit off. Just going to go through and make that transformation. I'll select it all, I'll cut it, and I just need to make a new channel. Command delete, fill it with a background color, and Command V. There we go. So just so I can get that transparency. Command D to get rid of the selection, Command I to invert it, load it up into the layers, and in here when I click on the layer, I'll just fill it with black for a start. So Option Delete. I've got that. And so this now can sit above that other image. So the image of the sky, I can switch that off if I want, because I've got this one underneath. Switch the boot back on. Switch the text on. So you get an interesting kind of quality here with the dots going over the top. I can try it with, if I get those dots, what happens if I go I and I get that same blue. Option Shift to keep the transparency. It's nice. I'll leave it like that. Got the selection for the sky, and now I'll get a custom paintbrush. That one's pretty good. I'm just going to check the settings for it. Remember things like the shape dynamics, the jitter, the angle jitter, the scattering, just to make it look a wee bit more realistic as a brush. I'll make a new layer. Now with this, I can just paint with a colour. At the moment I'll just leave it as black. So I'm focused on Command Z, getting an interesting texture. So that's quite an interesting one coming across. Command D. And so now with this I can say, okay, now I can try different colours. So if I click on the green and go Option Shift Delete, not so much. I'll try eyedropper in another colour. That's a wee bit more interesting. Do this one, Option Shift Delete, too dark. Switch this off so I can see some of the other colours in the building. So I'm just going through selecting colours off here and seeing how they look. Option Shift Delete. Option Shift Delete. Got this funny aqua blue. Option Shift Delete. I think the colour I'm going to work with is I'm going to use that colour off the billboard. I've also got the option here as well where I can still hit multiply and see how that works with it, or use some of these other options through here. And actually I'm just going to go with linear light, so it's almost the same as painting it blue, but I quite like that, and I'm going to see if I can work with this a little bit. So I'm going to add a new layer. I'm going to stick it up above the boot, and again I'm going to get colour. I might just try the grey for a start. I've still got that big paintbrush. Now I can clip it with the Option key. I can also use some of these colour options. That's quite interesting, the linear colour dodge. I might use that, and then I can still grab that layer and I can work it around a wee bit, move it around. So I'm going to go with that. Stick with that. And so now, if I just go Image, duplicate that. Just move it to the side for a second, and then with this one here, I'll go File, Revert. I'm just going to move that over a wee bit, because then I can have these two side by side, and I can start to get a little bit of a feel for it. So you can see that it's starting to pull together as a whole illustration. So now the issue becomes, if I get rid of this one, is how we relate it to this image here, because if we have a look at it, this is nice and smooth, and this one has got this grungy feel. So the next stage is I'm going to try and make this image here match up with this one.